kicks off the annual Screen-Free Week, where children and families, schools and communities are encouraged to, well, it says here, turn off your TVs, computers, etc. It's all a good idea, except for the TV in the morning. You ought to have that on. But anyway, in general, it's a good idea to try to break free from our electronic addiction. We have our good friend, the certified educational therapist, Bonnie Terry, with us from Bonnie Terry Learning to talk about some fun ways that might actually work to get your kids off the screen. Good morning, Bonnie. How are you?
Good morning. Great.
Glad that you're here. I was reading, according to one study, the average kid is online or playing video games 7 hours a day.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And that's not even considering Facebook.
Yeah. You know, as a kid, I might have logged an hour watching TV a day because all my parents would let me, and of course there was no online. That's a huge chunk of the kid's life.
It is. It is. And that's the reason for this week to say, wait a minute, what are we doing? Let's unplug a little bit and do some other activities.
Boy, good luck with that. I'm sure it's hard, although hopefully kids will discover there is a life away from the screen, and you've got some suggestions for us.
I do. And these suggestions are going to be things that are going to be improving perception skills, visualization skills, memory skills.
And hopefully fun so they don't know it.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
You got it, you got it. Our first thing is we call add-on stories, and so in the evening we'll all sit around the table or, you know, in the living room.
Sure.
Whoever's holding a flashlight starts a story.
Yeah.
You know, like, once upon a time, a family went to the zoo, and two brothers wandered off to the monkey cages. And what happened next?
The monkeys escaped from the cage while they were there, and on you go, and back and forth. You know, we did those growing up. In fact, we still do them with the grandkids. We call them make-up stories. Before we start, everybody gets to pick one thing that has to be in the story, and then the challenge is to work them all in as you go. But that's a great thing to do.
Exactly, and it's a fun thing. The next thing is going to be scavenger hunts, but instead of actually collecting the items, you're going to write down where you saw the item, because then when you get home, you have to describe in detail where it was that you saw the item. And you can do this in the house, you can do it in the backyard, you can do it down the street, at a park, even at the mall.
Well, and depending on the age of your kids, the other big hit at my house growing up was those scavenger hunts where it's a clue to some place in the house, and when you get there, you find another clue. And as parents, it makes you crazy taking the time to do that, but kids love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well worth it, well worth it. Of course, the next thing is going to be board games.
Yeah, and I love the low-tech of this board game. We have a camera we can push in on this. The Rocket Rap. It doesn't have to be fancy, but that looks like fun.
It is, and it's working on listening comprehension and reading comprehension skills at the same time. You can play from multiple age ranges, you know, 2, 3 grade level all the way through high school level.
Yeah, I hope kids have not abandoned board games. They're fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, of course, is going to be take out your family photo albums, you know. I mean, spend an evening going through the old photo albums.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, it's perfect time to make one.
Yeah.
So great, you know, ways to just really unplug so that your kids are having family time.
Yeah, or if you're old enough, break out the old Super 8 movie projector.
Exactly.
Well, you know,
exactly.
And if that's not your kids, you know what? It's your movies when you were a kid, showing them to your kids. That doesn't count as screen time, does it? That's family time, right?
Well, that would be family time.
Okay, good. These are all great suggestions, and we are linking your website, by the way. In fact, you have like a free downloadable book, right?
I do, a free activity book, and there's over 80 fun family activities in it.
Great.
So, you know, plenty, even books to read. What are the best books for your kids to be reading, you know, that are interesting, engaging, not, quote, necessarily super literature books,
right,
but fun books you can sit and read as a family.
Okay, don't be stuck for an idea during a Screen-Free Week. For more information, you can go to our website, fox40.com, click the Go button. We'll link you to Bonnie's website. Again, a free downloadable book with 80 ideas or so. And again, keep the kids away from the screen, except for weekday mornings, 4:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. when Fox 40 Live is on. Bethany Crowd.